Hello and happy Friday, Junior. Thanks for being here with us for another edition of Off the Desk. I'm Kaylee Collins.
And I'm Julia O'Keefe. Yes, we made it to Friday Junior, and this is a especially exciting episode for Friday Junior today. We have two very special guests with us this morning.
Drum roll.
Sarah and Areta. Thanks for joining us, guys. Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Very excited to
have
be
you.
here on Friday Junior.
I know.
Special.
Your energy.
First appearance.
Love the energy, love the vibes. Almost to the weekend, even though we are expecting snow, which we've been talking about a little bit here this week, but we'll save that for later on. We'll get into the forecast of it and what we can expect. But we figured, this is the first time that you two have been here on Off the Desk. We've had some other colleagues of ours make appearances and others who are interested in, having their own shows and content here on the Plus app. So we figured we'd let you guys have the floor, talk to us a little bit about, your role here at 22 News, what you guys have been up to, and we'd love to hear you guys just introduce yourselves to the audience.
Sarah, you can go first. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I've been at 22 News for 10 months now.
Ooh.
It's so crazy just to think about it. Time is flying for sure. And I would say I was welcomed with warm arms from everyone at the station, in the community. I came from North Dakota starting this industry. So it's just so nice to be in a different atmosphere, but closer to family. And I'm just so glad to be here. I don't know what else.
You say closer to family, though. Tell us where you're originally from.
Yes. Okay. So I am from Philadelphia, but I was born in Haiti, moved here at the age of 2. Yes, family in Philadelphia, but I have family all over the East Coast, the South. When I say closer to family, Massachusetts, it's more like Eastern Massachusetts. So Western Mass, I'm pretty new to it, but I'm loving it. Like I say, Springfield reminds me of Philadelphia.
That's
so
great.
Shout out to Springfield.
Love it. Love it.
Me, I'm Areta Odaya, for those who do not know me. I joined in June, so it's been 7 months.
Woohoo.
Just in my
Just
7
right
months,
around when you launched Off the Desk.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. And then that was when I was, doing the mornings.
Yes.
I'm from Bridgewater, Massachusetts, so Eastern Massachusetts. Been here my whole life. I went to school in Boston at Suffolk University, and then right out of school, came to 22 News.
Woohoo.
And I've been here since, and I love it. Western Mass, it's not too different from what I've seen in other parts of Massachusetts. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm a reporter, and I am now the weekend morning anchor.
Exciting.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
We both had our experiences on the weekend.
Yep,
So
you guys have.
Yes.
yeah, it's a great opportunity, and you both been doing some great work. And
Yeah.
it's nice to see, the growth as you guys continue on
Absolutely.
here. So you both are in a reporter role. Areta, you're going to be taking on, more of that anchor role on the weekends as well. But I guess you could share so far in the 10 months and the 7 months that you've been here, are there any memorable stories or I guess like things that you've worked on, maybe appearances at events, things like that have kind of stuck out with you that starting this career, you're kind of like, wow,
I already did it.
Expected
Did
this.
it. Yeah.
You want to switch off?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay.
I gotta think.
So when I think of community events, I've been emceeing and hosting a lot of events, and I feel like that's another role that I love. I just love using my voice in different ways, and I feel like connecting with the viewers, it's helping me gain trust and relationships with viewers. So I'm definitely enjoying that portion of it. What I would say with stories, my most recent story, I was literally just talking to Megan, the host of Mass Appeal, and she was asking me, what story did you like the most so far? I said recently, I've liked a lot of my stories, but recently I did a story regarding MLK. And I just happened to ask the president of the MLK Family Services if Martin Luther King was here today. He would have been 97 years old. What do you think he would say? And what she said was just so powerful. And then I happened to ask just other people in the community what they would say. So it was just powerful. And I just love being like a lifestyle reporter, getting into the community and seeing what our community has to say about a lot of things.
I love that. Yeah, Sarah, I actually watched that package air live. Actually, I think it was on Sunday morning, so it must have aired on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was watching the news Sunday morning, and I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
Sarah, you did really well with this.
you.
Yeah, it was really powerful. You're right. So good. So good.
How can I follow? Oh my gosh. Wow. I'd say for me, I think a memorable one was when I was covering the Holyoke fires, both of the Holyoke fires.
Mhm.
I spoke to one woman. We were Ida Torres. We all know Ida Torres food truck, giving out supplies and food to the community. We love her, and she was doing another one of those for those who were displaced. And I spoke to one of the women who lost her home, and I think for me, it was such a pivotal moment because it was my first super emotional, raw interview. And I think for me, I almost like, I don't be crying, but I almost shed a tear. And it's like, as a journalist, you have to, stay neutral and this and that. But like, for me, I couldn't hold it in. And it was something that I was just like, I think about her all the time too. And I think for me, that day was definitely, it was very powerful, and it kind of put life into perspective. Like anything could happen at any time. I know we're covering all these sad stories and all these happy stories, but like that is someone's life. She lost her belongings, her pets. Like it was something so devastating. I think about her all the time. I think for me that was my first like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
You
this
about
is
to cry?
I can't mess up my makeup. I can't mess up my makeup, so nothing really wrong. But I definitely, that one hit me hard, and I think about her a lot. And it's like, as journalists, like we're real people too. So it kind of just was a reminder that we're people too, but covering the stories never get easier.
Yeah. And that's so powerful because, yes, like you said, you're human too, but also you talked about how, yes, in journalism, it's unbiased. You're supposed to put the neutral stance on it for your audience. But in stories like that, which you both talked about, you get the opportunity to kind of humanize it as well. Because, well, we might be sitting at the anchor desk, or you can hear something about like, there was this tragedy and this many people died. You're talking to the people at the center of those stories to really show the impact of what types of like disasters or anything, or even community issues, what they're doing to people right on the ground. So you really get a special seat to be able to humanize that.
It's never easier to go up to someone and say, "Hey, I know you just lost your home. Are you learning?" Like, not in that way, but like going up to someone after something so tragic and being like, "I would love to speak with you."
Do you want to share? Your story?
And so what I did that day was I spoke to her, obviously off camera without a mic in her face. And then asked to hear her story. And then after I said, would you mind saying this briefly again on camera? And that worked out well. So I think about her.
And even with stories like that, obviously, because in this industry, we are covering so many tragic events and things that happen in our local communities, it is okay to be yourself and to let your emotion show in your reporting, because viewers appreciate that when you're authentic. That goes into the whole being a trusted journalist is being yourself and being able to deliver those types of hard stories in a way that's still showing you are human and that you empathize with folks who are going through these types of situations.
Absolutely.
And you could still be accurate and unbiased in your presenting of those facts of the story, but still showing your human side. When things like that happen, people really do appreciate that.
It's a balance for sure.
It comes through over the camera. So but yeah, those were two great.
Thanks for sharing, guys.
Memories so far. Yeah, I know. I feel like we could go back, which I had a couple more years, not too much longer. You guys are not that old, but yeah, there's always those stories that are gonna stick out with you, or that could even shape a little bit your style, your reporting style, and how you go about presenting those types of topics and stuff too. So it's nice that you're getting the experience and kind of learning what your flow is.
Would you guys be able to tell us your favorite stories?
Oh, what sticks out? What sticks out?
It's been a lot.
I'm trying to think.
Or a fun one.
I was gonna say a fun one maybe. I got to go cover the when the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree came down in West Stockbridge last year. I got to go cover that. That was probably one of my favorites. I went twice. I went to talk to one time just people passing by, and then when it was actually being cut down. And I like the story more because of the connections that the family had itself when they were talking about how the gardener came up to their door one day right after the man's mother had passed away. And it was like this, almost like they called it like, a sign, as in they have to donate this tree. So that was really cool.
You hear a story like that.
And you wouldn't have known that if you're just like, oh, we're cutting down the tree today. Right. And it was so good. It was like an early Christmas. There's Christmas magic. There was a choir of singing elves. There was there was a bunch of network reporters there too. So it was like a big production almost. That's fun. It was exciting. I look back and I think of that one a lot.
Yeah, I've done a lot. I think something that's the first thing that's coming to mind is it was a couple years ago. I believe it was the summer of 2023 was the summer that we got a lot of rain here in this area of New England, Western Massachusetts, and Connecticut. It was like record-breaking amounts of rain, and doing that weather coverage, what I actually found really enjoyable. It was because you're out, yes,
In
in
the
the
field.
elements.
Oh.
You're seeing it up close and personal, and the same thing. It's affecting real people's lives.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And one of part of that coverage was there was an off-duty firefighter who I forget what town it was, somewhere like in Franklin County, I believe, who happened to just be like out in the elements of like this monster rainstorm, and it had eroded a portion of the roadway. Again, somewhere in Franklin County. I'll have to check which town it was, but a woman had gotten like stuck, and then her car flipped into like the eroded road. Like there was a massive hole in the road.
Whoa.
Her car was hanging, and she was like she couldn't get herself out. This off-duty
scary.
firefighter just happened to be patrolling the area because it's kind of like in his blood during an
Yeah.
emergency situation to
Yeah.
just make sure
Ooh.
people are okay. And he like saved her. Her car did dip into there's running water all
Oh my
underneath
gosh.
it. There was a nearby river too. The car dips in as he had gotten her one of the ropes, and he's trying to get her out. She can't get out of the car. Dips into the water, and the water kind of takes her into like part of the
my
river. It wasn't
gosh.
like super deep.
Okay.
But he saves her. He jumps in the water, gets to her, gets her out of the car. They're both uninjured. They were safe. And that was just kind of like a cool story of like
Yeah.
Whoa.
right talk about being at the right place at the right
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just seeing the amount of people that were impacted by those floods and going to like see firsthand the rising floodwaters and things like that, it was kind of crazy. But that's one
Wow.
that sticks out as like a cool opportunity to report.
Right.
on,
Yeah.
'cause
you know?
would never
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. So what an amazing story. I was like, I'm
Wow.
glad she
They
was
were okay. Yeah. Wow.
So
Lots of
Yeah.
stuff. Lots of
Definitely.
stup. And this weekend might make for some more
weather
some more
coverage,
weather
for
coverage.
sure.
So
Weather
stick around, and we're
coverage.
going to come back and talk about that a little bit.
We'll be right back.
Wait.
All right, welcome back to this Friday Junior Energy version of Off the Desk. Thanks for being with us.
I'm Kaylee Collins.
Oh, we're gonna introduce ourselves. Yeah. I'm Juliana O'Keefe, and you guys,
Caribbean and
Arata Odai.
look at that full house here
Full
today.
house. Love it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we were talking about. Well, we actually ended up talking about weather coverage, and we're looking ahead to some chances of more weather coverage this weekend as the winter's worst comes in.
Yeah. We had Chris on yesterday for a Weather Wednesday edition. We try to do that every week. He ends up coming on more than just Wednesdays though. So
Yes.
we are happy to have guests as everyone can see. But he was talking a little bit. I guess like there were a lot of people on social media who were already speculating about this being this major winter storm because it's going to hit all over the country in different degrees,
Yeah.
different parts. And so he was kind of saying it was a little early to be predicting exactly what the forecast was going to be here in the Northeast, here in Western Massachusetts. Then as of this morning, he said, okay, we've been gaining more confidence that this is going to be a significant storm in our area starting up on Sunday. So I think as of tomorrow and probably Saturday, we'll have a better idea as far as like accumulation and just how much snow we can expect. But a lot of models are showing there is going to be a significant storm in the Northeast, and that means that we are going to expect a decent amount of snow in our area. And it's going to be very cold as
It's
well.
going to be so cold.
So, isn't that a treat
Love it
here in New England?
It's so fun.
We're so used to it at this point. I'm like,
I
you know
know.
what? Another
And
day.
one thing we were going to talk about is that, for us here in the news industry, obviously people care about the weather. It impacts all of our lives. It impacts how you start your day, if you're going to work, if your kids are going to school, your safety, how you're going to heat your home, all of these different things. Everybody's impacted by the weather. So we have a vital role during weather coverage.
Well, yes.
Or winter storms,
Winter
Weather
storms, weather, yeah.
to be able to provide updated information to people who are going to be checking in on early Monday morning or Sunday night as the storm's kind of developing. So that means, we have to try to prioritize us getting here and
Getting geared up.
getting geared up.
Layers,
Layers.
Lots
yeah.
of layers.
So Julia and I have done a lot of different weather coverage, have had weather coverage experience here at 22 News. I know you guys are relatively newer for the winter reporting, but have you guys had a lot of, weather coverage as of yet? Or, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, my most recent coverage, we had a snowstorm not too long ago, like a small snowstorm. And it wasn't too cold, or to me, it wasn't too cold, just because I'm coming from North Dakota.
Right.
The Midwest, it can get cold out there. So I feel like the cold here, it's bearable for me. Back there, I just remember one snowstorm that happened. I was wearing the wrong boots, and it was like 5 inches of snow. And I'm out there. And I just remember coming back in, and then I couldn't feel my toes. But I thought, okay, that's normal. That's gonna eventually go down. And it was like months going by, and I'm telling my family, like, hey, I still can't feel my toes. And they were saying, go to the doctors. So
Wait,
the
this
doctors
was months after?
You couldn't feel your toes for months?
normal. Whatever.
Oh my
I went to the
gosh.
doctors, and they were thinking, like, okay, maybe it's diabetes, or maybe it's a frostbite. So they said, let's drain blood. So after they drained blood, they said it was because my nerves wasn't used to the cold out there.
Oh
So
my
they couldn't give me
gosh.
any medications to like feel better. So honestly, I just had to
Numb toes.
Wait it
yeah,
out.
literally. And it
Oh my
took,
goodness.
I feel like in the summer, that's when like I started feeling my toes again.
I'm sorry, but this is not funny. I'm sorry.
It didn't hurt or anything, so that was why I was like, okay.
Well,
just
yeah,
what
you
it
did
is.
have nerves. You couldn't feel it.
I wonder if that's going to return.
I hope
weekend.
not. I hope not. I had the right
Toes.
boots.
Yeah, get those right boots
Yeah,
on.
everything.
And now Sarah doesn't play with her gear. She's
At
always
all.
geared up now.
Oh,
She's not
So
Wow.
I'm prepared.
Now you're prepared.
Yeah.
Wow.
What an experience.
Oh my.
Hopefully
That
that
is
doesn't
funny.
happen this
Yeah.
weekend
To
for you.
anybody at that.
I know.
Yeah.
To anybody.
All these stories, Sarah can't keep up at this point. I mean, I feel like I've had a couple instances. Claire Overton and I, we did like a dual. We were covering
Team coverage.
one of the fires.
Okay.
And we were doing like we literally had to share a mic, and we are just doing kind of like.
Oh
that.
yeah, I watched that.
yeah,
That was
okay.
good. Yeah.
And it was, I believe, sleeting.
Oh, I
I
remember
believe
that
it was
today.
sleet.
Yeah.
And that was we were kind of like doing dual, talking about the fire, but also the weather that's affecting the fire, things like that.
Yeah, that was
Um,
good though. I remember
Yeah,
watching that.
and then on a Sunday, I recently I was out there measuring some ice, and how do you measure ice? When is it safe to ice skate and go do your ice activities
Oh, that's
on
good.
ponds and things?
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Kiko and I, our photographer, we had a really fun time. I would say for now, but don't worry, more's coming.
Oh,
And I'm ready.
Definitely.
And I'm ready. So
You guys
Yeah.
get ready for it. Yeah.
Get ready.
That's
I heard
great.
January is the coldest month here.
Yeah.
Typically,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Oh.
So
Typically.
this year, especially, it's looking like it will be. This will
Yeah.
probably. I mean, I'm hopeful. Knock on wood. Will be
mm,
one of our major winter
Knock on wood,
storms
but-
this year.
Maybe
but
this is it.
let's not hold our breath. Yeah. So typically for this degree of a winter storm, this is supposed to start on Sunday. So Areta, if you're going to be here anchoring, you guys will probably start with a weather alert. I would imagine we're gonna have Chris on here tomorrow to talk about it. Again, we're not the meteorologists, but
Yeah.
Not at all.
starting on Sunday, maybe even Saturday night, we'll see how it develops. And then, we just keep people updated on closures, delays, things like that. And then, kind of the track of the storm that'll continue into our evening news on Sunday as it's probably going to be coming down. And usually when a winter storm hits during the week, we try to incorporate some type of team coverage. So we might have reporters that typically work during the day come in for the morning if
Yeah.
the snow, fell overnight. Maybe even another member of our weather team. So potentially someone like Alexa Bianco coming in and doing early morning coverage rather than working a dayside shift on a Monday. Again, this is all kind of what we've done in the past. We'll have to see how this new storm develops and everything. But Julia and I have both been a part of that where we get sent to different parts of Western Mass too. I know I was sent out to Hampshire County for a significant storm a couple of years ago. Mike Hool and I out in Northampton. And then sometimes it can be kind of fun and you can get creative too with like having reporters tossed to each other. So
Yeah.
I believe it was like Taylor Knight when Taylor was still here reporting outside here in Chicopee and giving kind of an overview of what the conditions were like in Chicopee. Then you might have somebody out in Hampshire County or in Franklin County, depending on, if it's
Where
safe
it's coming
and getting
down,
ready
right.
type of thing. But and you just kind of do an overview of the conditions and see if there's anybody outside who might be shoveling or
People are always outside.
chat.
That's how.
families out in the snow
Oh
if
my
they're
gosh.
enjoying a snow
Yeah.
day. But yeah, it's definitely an important time for us in the news because like I said before, people are counting on us to know what's going on outside.
Absolutely,
if the
for
road
road
conditions
conditions and the weather tracker.
The weather
I was gonna
tracker.
say I could only think of one day that I was actually outside last year for snow coverage because all the other days I was in the weather tracker, which was
Julia's
great.
a weather tracker pro.
Guys, it was 13 times last year. I counted. I had I did. I'm counting. I had a tally. But yeah, then I did a team coverage outside one day, and I tossed to Adam in Springfield and Chicopee. But yeah, the weather tracker, it's essential, I think, to show the road conditions.
Yes.
However, only if it's safe. Yeah, the angle of the camera itself on us isn't the best. It's not, but it's more about the road. It's more about the road. They would rather see the road than you at that point. So I try just not to care. Yeah, I just try not to care. But this weekend, I mean, if it's bad, they won't send us out if it's not safe to do so. So who knows if we'll be able to use the weather tracker on Monday morning. But it is a great angle to get if we are able to go out there. But yeah, I gotta pack the snow pants. I gotta we gotta be.
We're gonna get
ready. I'm assuming maybe I'll be out for a noon live at that point. But
I use my rain boots as my snow boots. Is that strange?
You're gonna need some insulation.
Yeah, strange. You might want to get better boots.
I don't want to be like, I don't want.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm good. Like it's the same thing. It's like Okay.
I think it also depends on like the consistency of the snow. If it's a really thick, wet snow, or if it's more of like a light, fluffy snow.
But still, lots of layers, like double socks, electric hand warmers. Yeah, I might have an extra pair if someone wants. I tried to give them to Nick actually because I do have an extra pair, and then Nick was like, "Oh, I already have them." So I'm like, "Okay."
You know what's funny? Fun fact about Nick Antonakis. I don't know if I'm blowing up his spot here.
Oh no, this is a fun fact.
He doesn't like to wear hats.
He's not a hat guy. He says
he's not a hat guy. I don't know if he's worried about it messing up his hair. Sorry, Nick. I'm going to tell him I said this. He's going to be like, Haley, you woke my spot.
He's not a hat guy.
But I think he might have to throw a hat on Monday.
He should put a hat on.
It's going to be so cold on top of, the snow coming down. Yeah. So maybe
I
you'll
love
see
to throw
Nick
on a 22 News beanie.
I know.
I love to throw
on a good color one.
I took the last gray one. I know. Everyone's like, where's the gray one? I took the last one.
Keikoa has a black one too. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
We have new ones coming out. Did you guys see the new ones? The pink.
Oh, pink.
Yeah,
there's pink and red.
Yeah. Bob, if you're watching.
There's a new merch store. Yeah. I know.
Or a pink one. That's
it was cute.
All right. We'll take a break. Come back with a few more things.
Be right back. All right, we're back here on Off the Desk. Julia and I do that a lot. We haven't done it in a while.
I feel like we've gotten into a pretty good system where, like, you start, I'll go next. Like, we'll alternate, and I started the last block, so that's where my mind
should have been my cue. Yeah, it's okay. Here we are back on Off the Desk, Friday Junior. Talked a lot about our predicted storm coverage. Again, this is all our early kind of predictions of what our coverage will be on Sunday and Monday.
It'll be more clear tomorrow for sure.
More clear once we, talk to Chris and our other meteorologists here to see how the storm kind of develops. But it could be something that's a unique opportunity for you guys to experience, a major New England winter storm covering it for the news. So we'll have to see how it all shapes up.
I say I'm ready, but then when I'm there, I'm going to be like, oh, it's real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. We'll get ready. Yeah. We have a couple minutes left. So as we close out this episode, we kind of wanted to turn to you guys because while we do love having you on Off the Desk, it's not just because. There is a reason for you to be here, and that is because pretty soon you'll be launching your own show. So that's so exciting. Yeah. So do you guys want to give us a quick rundown of some things that you're looking forward to and why you wanted to do this?
So quickly, I'll say how we were at our staff meeting, and Bob was talking about podcasts, and I was like, wait, we can do one? And so I go up to Sarah, I was like, Sarah, you would be the perfect duo. Like, this is great. We're always kikiing in the newsroom, and we're like, you know what? Like, why not? And so that's when we were like, Sarah was like, I'm down. And that's really...
And we both definitely gained, relationship and trust from viewers. And so I think they would like to see how we relate to them. And so I think this is just the perfect opportunity to do so.
And so we're calling it Echoes of Us.
Oh, that's cute.
Kind of just things that we think are cool, that resonate with our identities. And just, we're going to have a lot of guests to start. So we have a list. Obviously, stay tuned for that. A lot of cool people are coming in. And I think it's something, I've always wanted a podcast. And I think that I was like, do it at the same time, when I'm at work. And it's going to be a great platform for us to share our story. And
I can't wait.
We're so excited to do it together too.
Yay!
So exciting.
That's awesome, guys.
What are some of the topics you think you'll explore with the guests that you have coming in? Is it going to be kind of different every week? What are your preliminary ideas?
So I feel like when we were talking about the guest list, I personally wanted people who I didn't finish with, if that makes sense. I've done a story with them and we didn't get to do an update or things like that. So that's kind of when we were getting our separate lists together and kind of combining them, that's kind of where I was going. And then Sarah has so many connections from all the MCs she does and all these things. So we kind of put it together, whether they're politicians, artists, musicians, we want everyone. We want chefs. We want just anyone in the community who's doing cool things. We want sports. We think we're having an athlete come on and the Attorney General's is on the list. So she's interested.
Teaser.
Teaser. So that's confirmed. So, we're so excited.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of guests going to interact with a lot of people. So
that's
we're
awesome.
excited.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So excited that we started planning already, even though it's not launched yet.
But
that's
it's
good.
good
Be
to be
proactive.
ready.
Right.
And I've been waiting for my off the desk since I was on the morning. I was like, when am I coming on? And I saw Nick was so I'm so excited to be on off the desk too, because I've been wanting to come on here.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun.
This isn't the last time that you'll see Sarah and Aretta. They will be joining us once again a couple more times here on Off the Desk as they get ready to launch their own show. But it sounds awesome. We can't wait to tune in and see what you guys do with it. It'll be really great.
Yeah. All right.
Guys.
Can't wait to be
Thanks,
back.
guys.
Friday Junior, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Good day.
Bye.